Okay. Okay, third one is Gulf Energy. This is energy company as the name suggests, but it's not in the Gulf. Okay, not in the Middle East. This is in Thailand. And largely, although you can see that, oh, they have gas-fired power generation, renewable energy, gas business, infrastructure, ports, they even have digital services. They even have a crypto exchange in Thailand, data center, virtual banking. Wow, quite a lot of things, right? It's like definitely a conglomerate. Okay, but at the end of the day, if you take a look at the revenue contribution, almost 90% comes from gas-fired power business. So basically, they are doing power plants. Okay, right? Because the rest is not significant, it's less than 5% revenue. You should just analyze them based on power generation. Okay, and talking about gas-fired power station, you can see that majority is in Thailand. So they play a critical role, right, in supplying power to Thai provinces, and they have a few power stations in overseas, one in US, one in Oman, right? But again, not significant. The biggest revenue comes from Thailand. They also have renewables, right? Renewable market biggest in Thailand as well. Then thereafter would be Laos, and then it will be UK. And then the rest are pretty small again, right? So, of course, the growth area is to transit to renewables. This is the global direction. And you can also see that their investment plan is to invest more in renewables and less in gas-fired power station. But if you ask me, renewables, even in the next 4 years, will not be able to contribute to majority of the power generation. So even though, yes, they're going to invest more in renewables, but most of the money will still be made in gas-fired power station. Okay, so there will be little change, right? Because power is a very important thing. You cannot live without power. Your electricity, you can't charge your phone, you don't have lights at night, you have aircon, now so hot. You just cannot live without power, right? Blackouts is almost everyone's nightmare. Hence, even in the next 4 years, I foresee majority of revenue will still come from gas-fired power station. Okay, and it's a very sticky business. Why would I say that, right? Because once you install the power plant and it start to operate, it start to generate power, it will start to make money every single second, right? And the more you build, the more revenue will come. Okay, and therefore, whatever you built before will be added on, right? Will be piled on. Okay, it is not like, say you sell shoes. Okay, the person may not replace the shoes every year, and they may not buy your shoes. They may buy from other brands as well. It is not sticky in that sense. Okay, but power generation is sticky. Whatever you have built before will always be generating revenue for you until we decommission the power plant. But we know that power plant, you don't decommission one every few years, right? You maybe in the decades, 10, 20, 30 years before you decommission one. Hence, once that power plant is start up and running, it will contribute to capacity, it will contribute to revenue. As you can see, the capacity keep increasing every single year, right? And as the capacity increases, you can see the revenue also increase in tandem. Okay, and a 10-year CAGR is ridiculous, 172% per year. Okay, all right. So it shows you that it has hit the tipping point already, probably about 2018 onwards, right? It hit the tipping point. All the investment started to pay back, okay? And then they keep going from there, right? In terms of share price performance, also impressive, right? Then of course not impressive delta, it didn't 10x, but it did 2x, okay, 2x, which still deliver a 14% per annum return, right? And as I said, power generation is very sticky. It will, as long as continue to install more capacity, the growth will be there, right? In terms of price multiple, okay, and use, I'll compare to 5 average because it has growth prospect, not like AIS, right? So in terms of PS ratio is lower. In terms of PE ratio is also lower. You can see again it trades at a much higher multiple. Free cash flow yield is negative, right? Because they're investing. Okay, a lot of times this kind of company power station are expensive, right? You invest, you build one, you take a few years before you can make the return. So that is one negative point about companies like this, because the business will suck cash, right? You need to keep reinvesting back in the business. Yield is also higher, right? But generally, you can see that this is undervalued. This would consider an undervalued stock because the ratios are much lower than the 5 average. The yield is double of the 5 average, right? It gives you the idea that yes, it's undervalued. The only thing to watch out for is that at the end of the day, this is a cyclical stock. We have a chart for that. Oh yeah, actually I have it here. Okay, there's some cyclicity lah. There could be some, but not to the fullest extent, like the next stock that I'm talking about, right? So for this Gulf Energy, you'll be linked to energy prices, correct? If the energy prices go up, they will be able to increase prices, right? And because they need to pass on, okay, they need to pass on. If energy prices are low, they will make a lot more profits. Actually, right? It's the reverse one. But when the prices go up, they need to be able to pass on the energy prices. So it may be subjected to certain government policy, right? When the energy prices are too high, the government may want to cap energy prices, right, and electricity prices. And that means that Gulf Energy may not be able to pass on the full price increase. Just like what happened in, I think 2 years ago, right, in Singapore. Okay, there's some big hoo-ha, right? Especially the electricity prices were not capped for the commercial operators, right? Wow, then they were making complaints, right? Electricity bill few $1,000s a month. So that can be the effect. That when energy prices are high, it may not be so good for them. But now it has normalized. So I think generally it's okay. And the price multiples look low in this case.